back to FetchQuest. My name is, well, you guys know my name. Sorry, I work at a call center, and that's just the first thing that pops to my head. Um, and yeah, so Alakai, why don't you go ahead catch us up on what happened last week?
Happy to. So, after our successful tactics at delaying the potential auction at the China tea set, we decided that of utmost importance was to make sure that the bag of holding was suitably repaired. And by we, I mean Zon. So, we, as a group,
Both those things for me.
ventured to the highest part of the city, the upper class area that's walled off and has a guarded, gated community, where Zon went forth in order to get the bag of holding repaired for our plan of infiltrating the China tea set as potential drug sellers, while the rest of us decided to scout out the China tea set ahead of time and scouted and scouted and deliberated and deliberated, scouted some more. There was a lot of talking and a lot of scouting, which eventually ended up with Kara trapped underground in some holding facilities with Jethra, while some very creepy Vinteran, I don't even know what, was venturing forth to potentially kidnap and or kill Jethra and everything else in those holding facilities. With great urgency, we all decided to screw caution, or rather, one of us decided to screw caution, and that's when Damokos decided to hurl a fireball at the building and every other building that would have been within 20 within the area of effect, let's say, lighting the entire street on fire. Many people dead. Our attempt at a plan, now summarized as extremely over excessive hit and run. But we broke in, we saved Kara. Well, debatably, she handled it pretty well using some very clutch counterspells and some very good usage of polymorph. And all of us retreated out and continued on our journey, seemingly out of guilt of knowing we can't ever go back to that city where we emulated a ton of people. And by we, I mean Damokos. And I believe we pick up after finally having a long rest at the roadside, like the bunch of murder hobos we are.
Well, I can say this. At least we know for sure no one saw Damokos being the person who threw a fireball into the middle of the crowded city.
Yeah.
So we did. There was some more stuff happening. Damokos bonded with the sphere, and it's a terrifying object. Zahn was shown why Jethra does not want to go back to Ventera, and it's not a good time up there. Well, maybe it's a good time. It depends on whether you like getting your hand crushed by giant gears. I don't know what you guys are into. But yeah, so we pick up where it's right at the end of Damokos and Zahn's shift. Anything else you guys want to do before you swap watches with someone?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. So those two fall asleep. Who's next up? All right. Kara, you're shaken awake by Zahn, who then goes back to sleep.
Oh,
So,
shit. By
it is-
myself?
yeah.
Oh, god damn
So you're sitting there in the dark because you can't see at night.
it. I thought Joven would wake up too. I was mistaken.
Tamaga's being moody. He's not going anywhere near the group right now. He got yelled at for a very long period of time.
I'm gonna nudge Joven awake then. So can Shifter see in the dark?
No, Joven, you are nudged awake.
What is it?
I can't take watch by myself. I can't see in the dark.
Oh. All right. Yovan will head on over to help with this watch.
I want both of you guys to make a perception check for me
Buddy, why am I on my spell sheet?
because you're prepared to fight.
No, I'm not.
Perception.
That's right.
Perception. 15, not bad.
I'm just gonna make sure.
You got a 15?
The other 15, he has a 24.
Mhm.
Okay. Didn't see it pop up. Refreshing. Okay, I'm seeing it now. All right, so you guys are looking up at the night sky. The stars are shining out. There's still a little bit of smoke hovering through the air. And Joven, you notice there's something odd about the moon.
No.
It looks like there's a line coming across it partially. But you blink and it's gone.
The fuck does that mean?
Yeah. That you guys don't really notice much going out. Anything else you guys want to do?
I'm gonna figure out how to bond with this hand.
Sure. Make an Arcana check for me,
Okay.
please, using your spellcasting modifier that I'm not going to confirm what it is.
Just the mod.
If you're proficient in Arcana, use your proficiency too.
Okay. Right. This is probably nope. It's 5. Yeah.
Okay. So, you know how to make something you're familiar. So you start laying out the ritual for it, and the hand sits in the middle of the circle of herbs and runes that you've scattered around, and you start to focus. And as you're, I want to say committed, casting this spell to bind yourself to the hand and the hand to you, you start to feel a creeping chill up your spine. And I need you to make a concentration saving throw for me, please.
Shit. That's Constitution, right?
Yes.
Cool. God damn it. 8.
You find that your concentration is shattered by the cold. So you are unable to cast the spell. The hand taps at some of the runes and seemingly adjusts some of them, and then just curls up on the ground.
My hand knows more than me, apparently.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to do during your watch?
I guess probably clean off my axe a little bit of all the soot.
Sure. Yeah. You're cleaning your axe. That rust spot stays.
Yep, I figured.
All right. So, as you guys' watch ends and the sun starts to rise, everyone starts to wake up.
Packing things quickly and then moving out.
All right.
Yes, y'all are in a hurry. Yova's gonna pack up his stuff too, trying to match the pace that Zon set in.
Ghost does the same.
Jethra's still with us, right?
Yeah, she is. She is.
Okay.
She doesn't have much to pack up, so she's just kind of hovering by Zon at the moment.
Okay. I'm gonna pack up my shit.
Cool. As you guys are hurriedly packing, you hear a familiar voice. Oh, what is the matter? Why are you packing things so quick? And stepping out from behind a tree is a knight in dark blue armor.
Oh, great.
Ah, Damakos, I heard about your explosive appearance in Kel.
Y'all know this guy?
Feel like no is not quite the correct word.
It's not the correct word.
Yes, an unfortunate mishap.
Unfortunate is one word for it.
I think the proper term is genocide.
I'd agree with that definition as well.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I am not here to judge.
What are
Really?
you here for then?
Can I not check up on friends?
No, you're welcome to do whenever you wish. It's just we are in a hurry to complete this task for your almighty host.
He is not my host.
Who do you follow then? You've never quite told us.
Why must I follow anyone? Why can I not just walk my own path? Have you not listened to anything I have said?
It's been a very hectic last few months.
True.
And your side of the story is very much not exactly pertinent at the moment.
Well, he stops, raises his head almost as if he's sniffing or tasting the air. Something is different. Someone here has broken their chain.
That's very cryptic. Like every other time that we've ever met you.
Well, Damakos, you are free, are you not?
I have no idea
What?
if that
Fair
would
enough.
even be the correct term.
Who's to say? But freedom does have its price. His helmet's gonna turn towards Yovan. Interesting.
I'm sorry. Is this guy someone that we should be trusting or someone that I should be hidden? I'm just concerned and look to the whole group.
If I could give you a definitive answer on that, I would tell you by now, but we're not entirely certain on that either, since he sort of just shows up from time to time, talks a little bit, and then leaves.
He hasn't attacked us to our knowledge, so.
To your knowledge. What does that mean?
Well,
If I attacked you, you would know.
A lot of shit happens in the forest. A lot. I don't think we even know what your name is.
We don't.
You've been following us for months.
Following? How do you know our paths are not just intersecting?
It's
Oh,
just
boy.
a strange coincidence to intersect so many times along the same path.
It is true. But life is full of happy little coincidences. Yes?
Sure.
Happy little trees.
I'm sorry?
Don't mind me. I didn't realize I said that out loud.
well, if you ain't someone we're fighting, I guess. What do I call you?
Well, that's interesting. What do you call me?
We don't really call you anything right
Well-
now, since you sort of just show up and don't do much other than talk in very cryptic language that doesn't exactly lead us to any certain path at all.
I guess that is true.
Oh,
I find names to be far more revealing than anything else. And I've always heard that people prefer a man of mystery, so I think I will keep that to myself. Keep the mystery going on a little bit longer. But you can call me S.
S.
S, huh?
It is a letter.
I was about to say, though, if that's the case, then it's mighty fine meeting you, S.
I've not made up my mind yet. Odd, I don't know you.
Well, to be fair, I don't know you either. This is kind of a first meeting. Morgan, quick question.
Yes.
Does his armor look like similar to the one that we fought in the mine?
Go ahead and throw an insight check. Anyone who wants to throw an insight check, go ahead.
Sure.
Nope.
Why not?
Oh, nice.
Probably most appropriate for Kara to know.
So, Kara and Zon, as he's talking with Joven, the armor seems familiar to you. And as you focus on it, Zon, you're sure you've seen it recently. Kara, you guys literally killed a being wearing this same armor a little while ago.
Why are you not all skeletal? I suppose we can't exactly tell because you got all your armor on.
Yes. Typically, one does keep armor on to protect themselves.
But you do look, or at least you're dressed like a very large skeleton in a cave north of the city.
I've never been told I dress like a skeleton.
Oh, wait, you mean that creepy drug mine?
Yes, the
Drug
creepy.
might. Come on, group. I thought you were raised better than this. Say no to drugs.
There was that giant armored undead. Now that I remember.
You might have run into one of the guardians of Velirine.
Are the what?
The guardians of Velirine. Are you not listening?
What do these guardians do?
I suspect they do what other guardians do. They guard.
Well, you seem to be familiar with them. What purpose do they have other than to guard? They were this one was seemingly in the middle of a random cave.
Just because I know the name of something doesn't mean I know everything there is.
Oh, I'm not asking you to know everything there is. You just seem to know base level knowledge and we know nothing. So any little bit would be helpful.
At times, there were as many as 9 guardians, but towards the end there were 4.
Does the name Morov mean anything to you?
Murov?
Yes.
No, I can't say that I recall.
No big deal. It's just you wear a very similar armor to one of the guardians that we just met.
It is a very comfortable armor.
And you wear it for comfort and nothing else? When did you get it? There's no meaning behind what you wear?
Why do you wear your armor?
Because it was given to me.
Some of us are not so lucky to have been given armor.
So you just found it? Is that what you're saying to me?
It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying some of us are lucky to be just given armor. Take from that what you will.
Insight check. Give me a fucking straight answer, God.
Damn it. He is definitely implying he wasn't given this armor, but he's implying he wasn't given the armor. I'm trying to word this in his. He's saying he wasn't given the armor, but he's also not saying that he just found it somewhere.
Oh, good. Like 2 seconds before you said that, I sent to David, God, I hope you didn't steal it off a body.
So you weren't given it, but you didn't just find it or take it. Then how did you receive it?
Who's to say?
You just don't know? How do you not know how a large body of armor comes into your possession?
So, if I were a citizen of a country and I just saw my capital city burning, how long do you think that I would chase the people I assumed burned my capital?
Now, I love your coyness to change the subject. But we all know the answer to that question. Which is why we should be leaving, but you've interrupted us. And I'm just still wondering why.
I've done nothing of the sort. I've come over to say hello to my friends, and you've stopped packing to have a conversation with me. It's very sweet, really.
Well, alright then. I guess we should be leaving then. As much as I would love to pry into what you really are here for. I'm gonna start walking away.
Sure. As you turn your back, he slowly just disappears.
I would have offered him a trail ration for the road, to be honest. If he's not an enemy.
If I thought he needed it, I would have let you, but I don't think he does.
Not an enemy doesn't mean he's a friend either. So. Also, I'm pretty sure he can take care of himself.
I guess we're in common that way.
If and you say so. Alright. Yova's gonna try and just finish packing up. Slinging stuff on his back. Got that silver bow strapped along with his regular one.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so you guys head out. So anything you guys want to talk about as you're walking towards the port city?
So
That's
are there
all I
other
need to say.
So are there any other not friends that y'all have wandering around?
Don't believe so.
Car's really trying to think about it. Because they're all either like dead or they're enemies. I mean, Bert could still be alive somewhere.
I'll just tell you straight up, Bert suffocated to death.
Oh. Aw.
Yeah, I've been working on a little something that I'll release later.
That's horrifying.
Well,
I don't like that.
well, how about any enemies I should be looking out for so I don't have a moment of like, are they a friend or not? And then get like, I just got motion like it hacks to like.
I think the best way to go about our business right now is to wait for either me or, well, me to tell you to attack someone. Or to be attacked and then defend yourself.
I'm going to act a little bit reactively then. All right. I can dig that.
I would still... Unless they are threatening your life within a moment of cutting your throat, I would still come to me, as I do not trust any of you right now, to act upon your own without killing 1,000 other people.
I'm just moving to the back of the group as far away from Zahn as possible.
The only people I've ever killed are people who had it coming. I can say that.
And I wish I could trust you in that statement.
I love how salty Zod is.
We're just all getting scolded again.
It's only been a day. It's been less than 24 hours.
The smoke's still in the air.
Exactly.
All right, anything else before the first night? All right. So, you guys, it is time for the first of 7 total nights to get to the port town of Amarath.
Oh boy.
So, who's having first watch?
Me.
Kara and Zon it is.
Oh no.
Perfect.
Uh,
So, everyone else goes to sleep.
Hmm?
Kara and Zon, you are sitting up. Both of you guys do a perception check for me, please.
oh god damn it.
Kara, you swear that you see someone watching you from the trees. Zon, it's all clear.
Is there a direction?
To the northeast.
Shit, light of the touch spell, isn't it? Is there like a rock nearby?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a rock, cast light, and throw it at him.
Fuck you, David. The man sends me fireball over private message.
No!
So you throw the rock, and for a second you see a deer, and then the deer skitters away.
I'm gonna keep trying to bond with Alexander until I get it or not.
Sure. So you do the same ritual. The question is Zon going to lend you the aura boost?
Oh, I am.
All right. So you feel that familiar chill creeping
Doesn't
up
go
your
away.
spine. And I was just wondering if you're going to sit close enough, or like, I'm so done with this group, I'm going to sit
No,
on
I'm
the
s-
outside.
We're all within 10 feet of each other, I would assume.
Cool.
Except for Damocos.
Wow. So make your concentration check.
Okay. Oh, much better.
Nice. So you feel the familiar chill, but you've been preparing for this, and you redouble your efforts. Eventually, you feel that the hand is connecting in the way a familiar would. And a huge wave of chilling cold hits you. And it feels as though you've been frozen to your very core. And for a second, just for a second, you see the shadowy outline of a man looking right at you. And that fades away to Alexander in the middle of the circle of runes and magical items. And you can now add Alexander as your familiar.
Ooh. I've got a permanent buddy now. Mhm.
And nothing foreboding at all.
Good job, buddy.
So, I've been wondering this for some time.
God, that's not
What
good.
schools of magic do you adhere to? You said you were going on a learning expedition. What schools have you learned?
You did ask me this when we met.
Oh, I just assumed that you'd be willing to give me a bit more detail now, considering the circumstances.
Evocation. My older sister studies too. Thought it would be good to have more than one person who can use magic in the family.
Interesting. And you're just self-taught? You didn't go to any academy or master?
I like root around in my backpack for my son's spell book. And I just put it down. That's mostly what I do the traveling for, is to learn what I can from who I can. I'm not really one for school. It's not as fun as I thought it would be.
Fair. Not everyone likes to be taught. It's just, I am not exactly a magical man myself, but I've been taught things to avoid, the daily life of Moroth royalty, as it tends to be very filled with surprises and new ways of trying to kill each other. I've just never met a wizard who doesn't use a book when they cast things.
Everyone learns differently.
Do they, though?
Yes, they do.
I mean, in just the sort of general sense of wizardry. Do they?
How many wizards have you met?
Ones that have died in the manor, or ones that I've just sort of spoken to?
Why do people die in your house?
You live in Moroth.
Yeah, people don't die in my house. Maybe outside
Are you sure
the
about
house.
that?
Not in the house. They mess up the carpets. What is wrong with you?
You don't want to say, that's fine. Just more uncertainty is fine with me.
I'm pretty sure you would have decided by now whether or not you were going to kill me. We're very close to the border.
And all that time is more time to decide. Till it's done, it's not done, so...
All right, and with those lovely words, are you guys waking up Damakos and Jovan for their shift?
Yeah, I'll
I
wake
would
up
assume
Damakos.
so.
Perfect. So you guys go to sleep. Damakos, Jovan, you two are woken up for your shift. And I need both of you guys to throw perception checks.
Yeah.
Well, damn. So, Damakos, you don't really notice anything. You're a little bit more preoccupied with your shiny new orb. That's definitely not of insane evil or anything. But Jovan, you're looking up, and you look up at the moon, and that's definitely a very small crack that you see in the moon. And that wasn't there before you guys went into the cave. You're not sure if it was there immediately after, but there's definitely a crack in the moon.
I'm going to look over to Domikos and point up, and then be like, "You seeing this shit?" Pointing up to the moon.
I'll look up. It'll take a minute to focus. I guess.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
15.
Looks like a very beautiful moon.
You know, I don't see a crack.
It's there. It's right there. Just pointing it.
Do I notice anything now that he's pointing it out to me?
I mean, you can, because it's such a clear night, you can make out some of the craters, but he just so happens to be pointing what seems to be directly at one of the craters.
I see a crater. I don't see a crack.
I'm gonna look back up to the moon.
There's a crack.
I'll be right back in a sec. Don't light anything on fire. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have the silver bow. I'm just gonna have like 3 arrows in my hand. I'm just gonna plant 2 of them next to me where I'm sitting, and one of them I'm just gonna have gently just notched in the bowstring.
Sure.
Just like.
Are you gonna try and shoot the moon?
No, but I am gonna be ready to shoot anything right now because I'm on edge.
Ready to shoot something that comes out of the moon.
Yep.
Perfect.
I will admit I am a bit on edge traveling as we are, but I don't like seeing things that might not be there or seeing things that I can see that others can't.
Right. Perfect. So, thus you guys' watch ends, the sun rises, and everyone wakes up for another lovely day. Anyone want to do anything before we skip a few days and nights?
I'm actually curious about this bow, to be honest. Like, is it like I'm gonna try and like do some practice shots, I guess, with it?
So you can definitely notch an arrow into the bowstring, but you can't pull it back.
Oh. Joven would probably have tried his hardest with all of his strength, but
Make a strength check for me.
okay.
And if the
Not a
bows are
strength
fine,
save, just a strength check.
Just a strength check. Okay. You managed to not break the bow by just pulling back, but the bow does not budge. Make an investigation check for me.
That's amazing.
This is a really fucking pretty bow.
Yeah.
It is quite possibly one of the most beautiful bows you've ever seen in your life. Nothing mysterious about it whatsoever besides the fact you can't pull it back, but god damn, is it not a beautiful ornament?
Yep. It's just like I'm gonna go over to Zon. Does your bag of hoeing work?
It does. I got a patch job on it at least.
I'd like to store this, I say as I hold the bow to Zon. It's real pretty, but it's broken.
Broken how?
And I grab one end, I grab the other, and I kind of just like pull, not enough to like really exert, but just to show that the string won't pull back.
String does not pull back.
Can I investigate it? I mean, I literally can't fire a bow, but
It's like I can't.
Well, you
I
can. You're just bad at it. Yeah, sure.
I
throw an
mean,
investigation
not
check.
being able to it being bad at it, sure.
I ain't ever had a bow I can't draw before.
Just use your teeth.
So you're looking at it. It's definitely made different than other bows that you've seen. It seems to be made of silver, but is extremely light, as though it's hollow on the inside. It does have a small feature that is a bit different. It seems to have a little ledge that you can rest the arrow on, as if to make sure that its flight out is straight. But other than that, you can't tell much more.
I'm not a bow guy. So I sort of hold up my one literal arm.
I know.
So-
I ain't asking you to fire it, but
But it looks fine to me. But go ahead, put it in the bag if you wish.
all right. If I can't use it, it ain't much use other than for looks, and I'm gonna just put it in the bag of holding.
Sure. Silver bow goes in the bag of holding.
I'll just have my longbow. I'll stick to something I can actually shoot with. Just have it out.
All right. Anybody else got anything they want to do?
Lucas is just for day 2 walking, he's just keeping quiet to himself. Maybe studying the orb, maybe keeping an eye out at times.
All right. All right. So we're going to go ahead and time skip several nights and days. 5 more to be exact. And you guys come across the outskirts of Amarath, where you see a halfling viciously kicking.
Before
Go
we
ahead.
get to that, in that time skip, can me and Jethra have a talk?
Sure.
Because I literally forgot about it until now.
Sure. No worries.
First, I want to look at her hands.
Her hands are pretty badly scarred.
Like slashing, whipping, crushing scarred, or
They look crushing scarred across the back of her palm and on some parts of her fingers. Like the bones there were set to heal, but they, like the flesh was never really healed completely. So it's left scarred over.
that thing you showed me. It's quite the barbaric of a machine for such a so-called advanced civilization.
It is not a good place.
Nothing of the sort gave me that idea.
He pulled the old gods from the sky, and they demand blood.
Who did?
The High King.
High King. Why? What was his reasoning?
No one questions the High King.
then why are you and all those people? Just to
Magic.
stop the dissenters? Or...
Magic is very dangerous. If it's not properly controlled, then she looks over at Damikos.
No, I understand.
But sometimes when the High King says we must sacrifice, we have to sacrifice. There's really no other option. You can try to hide, but the Nachtjäger always finds you.
That was the machine, the construct.
Do not talk of the Dragon Claw.
Well, once we're in Morhoth, you'll be given a nice enough place to stay, a place that you can work and be free. I know you'll be paid better than anywhere you'll probably have been. May not be the safest place, even by your standards, but I can promise you that it won't be any less or any more terrifying than anything you've ever seen before. And with any luck, you'll be able to live a life there instead of this, what you're doing now.
She's going to look at you for a moment. Thank you. I think we should keep moving.
Of course.
So you guys come to the outskirts of Amaraeth, the riverside port, and you see a halfling viciously kicking at the broken wheel of a cart. And he is swearing in 4 different languages.
Something the matter?
No, I'm just fucking kicking this cart because I fucking want to.
Well, I meant more in the sense that you could tell us your problems and maybe we can help you. Instead of, taking it out on your poor wheel there.
Yeah, so you's gonna go ahead, fix up my cart, and get all my shit back to Amaraeth, huh? Fuck yous. He's gonna go back to kicking the cartwheel.
Alright then. Guess
How
we'll just
much
keep
stuff
walking.
do you have? Guy's asking.
Go ahead.
What'd you ask?
How much do you have to get back to the town?
He's gonna look at you, realize how heavily armed you guys are. Oh, I get it. All right, you got me. Yeah, sure. Take all the shit in the back. Huh? Just leave
We're
my
not here
fucking
to
worthless...
rob you.
More in that we can help you get it to the city.
We may not look it at the moment, or at least they don't look it. I do.
Wow.
But we're not of the needing to steal from those below us. Persuasion?
Oh, so I'm below you. Just because I'm short.
No, not...
boy.
Well, realistically, technically, yes. But I wasn't saying it more in that sense, more in that society has thrown a
Yeah. I'm going to talk to you. He points to Kara. Look, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about over here, but
society puts us in
Yeah.
places we're not choosing.
I don't care. So, look, I got a few heavy crates in the back. My fucking horse is spooked, and some jackass apparently I was sold a shitty cart. The thing fell apart on me as soon as the horse is spooked. So I just got some heavy crates I need to get back to fucking Bristle and Pig, Bristle, whatever the fuck it's called. And then I'll be done.
How long does it look like it'll take us to get into the... Is it a town?
It is. It's more of a riverside port turned town.
Okay.
It's about noon, and it's going to take just walking yourselves to get to the port itself. Is going to take you guys about 2 hours of walking.
Hmm.
Carrying heavy crates, it's definitely going to increase the time.
What's the town name?
Amarath.
How do you spell that?
Amraeth.
Okay.
And the horses are gone?
Yeah, the horses are gone. What it looks like is make a quick investigation check for me on the cart.
Okie dokie. Investigation. 16.
So it looks like what he says is true. The cart was not well built. You can tell that when the horse is spooked, they broke the very rotted wood that was keeping them in place. They ran off, and the sudden jerk of the cart snapped one of the back wheels.
Okay. If I were an ogre, does it look like I would be able to pick the cart up and carry it? Maybe. Or at least the boxes. Boxes would probably be better.
Boxes would be better. You wouldn't be able to carry the cart, but you could drag it.
Oh. Yeah, that works too. Yeah, I can drag it for as long as polymorph lasts, and then we can use Tensor's floating disk.
How long does
carry it the
polymorph
rest of the way.
last? It's
Polymorph lasts an hour.
Yeah.
an hour?
Stop it.
Okay, so I'll say that with you as an ogre, you can definitely travel at normal pace. So you guys are about an hour out from the city when you stop being an ogre. But when you turn into one, he goes, "What a fucking trick!" And he hops on the back of the cart while you drag it.
Okay. And then once we reach the end of that, I'll cast Tensor's floating disk to transport the boxes the rest of the way.
Sure.
Yep. I'll help load them onto the disc. Just like this is crazy. Just like
What's crazy?
Invisible floating force.
It's just a spell, Joven.
Well, sorry, I don't have much spellcasters that I know until today, until
Yeah,
a week ago.
that's fair.
Hey, look, sorry for getting off of the wrong foot back there. I'm just very frustrated. It hasn't been a very good trip for me. You can call me Johnny.
Johnny, nice to meet you. I'm Kara.
It's a pleasure.
I pointed at
I will not
this is
fault you
on.
for your discretions.
He talks like that all the time. And then pointed at everyone else. Down the coast and Joven.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'll bring you guys down to the bristling fucking whatever it is. So you guys start to head down. It's about a 45-minute walk until you guys get to a very large inn that does say... One second. Sorry. It does have a sign that does say bristle on it, and then it looks like the other half of the sign was torn off, fell off. The wood is splintered.
I can see why people have trouble remembering the name.
Nah, it's just a shitty place.
Oh.
And he leads you around back and gets you guys to put the crates behind the back door, slams his fist on it, goes, all right, now we got to get out of here. And starts to head off down an alley.
All right.
Look, you guys look like you're pretty new to Amarayth, so I'm going to give you some tips. First of all, don't ask no fucking questions, okay? You don't see nothing around here. And you hear even less than that. Understand?
Do tell.
I don't know what the fuck that means. You understand, pretty boy? Am I getting through to you?
Oh, yes, perfectly.
Oh, jeez.
The rest of you, you got that?
I got it.
Dog face. Do you understand?
I'm following what you're saying.
All right. Don't mess with the flow around here. All right? You guys are gonna want the human fucking place. It's down the road, like 15 minutes out. It's what's it called? Humans have such a fucking weird naming system.
Do we really need to go to a specifically human bar?
What, you guys want to go to a halfling bar?
I'm just saying, I've been perusing things of elven nature before. Halfling meat is also very fine. They use lots of fruits in it. But
trying to broaden your experiences, huh?
Well,
fucking rich kids.
I've had a very broad experience, but I like to get around, and we're only passing through.
Listen, this ain't like no fucking Moroth, all right? We don't belong to either Kel or Moroth. You screw off around here, your daddy's not going to be able to save you. Understand?
Well, he's not doing a whole lot of saving as it is. I do most of that, so that's fine.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. Listen, you're on your own here, is what I'm saying. No one's going to come to your rescue, and no amount of money's going to buy any trouble you got off. Understand?
I think you don't know the exact amount of money, but sure.
Oh, boy.
I don't think you know where you are, all right?
No, I walked through here the first time when I came across the river.
All right, look at you, big, strong man. Go fucking find your own way around here. And he flips him the bird, gives a little salute to Kara, and stomps off, disappearing down one of the twisting alleyways of this portside city.
What a nice little man.
This seems like a pretty dicey place.
You've seen nothing yet.
I know. The player, know about this place, but I don't know if Kara does. Because Morgan just here's all the info on the port town.
I mean, I should know about this place, but I don't know anything about it yet.
Yeah, so Kara and Damocus, because you guys crossed and most likely would have used Amarayth, go ahead, give me just a quick investigation check to see what you guys remember.
Investigation?
Do I need to do that as well?
No, I'm just going to give it to you.
Yeah, I probably was paying more attention to other things anyway.
I had a 9.
Yeah,
it was very recent for me.
So you two really don't really remember much. You've done a lot of shit since then, but since Zahn pretty much just came from this place, it's very much gang run by halflings. They don't really take much shit, and the guard tend to just ignore things because a guard who goes snooping ends up in the river. Neither of them neither side of the river holds any loyalty to Kel or Moroth and consider the river their own, and they are the only ones allowed to have ships out that aren't military grade ships. And there's one ship per port city that traffics between both Moroth and Kel. That was the agreement by the 3 nations in charge of this river. And the rest are fishing boats and then massive military ships, which everyone can see from where they are.
How much time left in the day do we have?
It's around 3:00. So you guys have a good 3-4 hours left in the workday.
How long does it take to get across the river?
It's about a 3-hour long ride.
All right. Well, beyond my ever-loving time to give you a chance to destroy another city, would we like to take a ship right now, or would you like to rest?
I feel pretty confident. How about you, Kara?
I'm fine.
Mine as well. And don't worry, I'm not going to shoot off any thing.
That would be very helpful. All right. I would assume that I would have taken just the standard boat across, and I'm just going to start heading there.
Sure. So you head over to the one ticket booth. It is directly on the dock, and there is a pier behind it where the boat normally is. You don't see that boat, and it looks like behind the ticket booth is a relatively young it's fucking hard to tell with halflings. They're all small and crumpy, but there's a halfling who's kind of leaning back in their chair, feet kicked up on the counter, and seem to be just kind of like dozing off.
Excuse me. Hello there. Hello. I can knock on the wood a little bit.
What?
When's the next boat to go out?
Tomorrow.
All right then.
You want to buy some tickets?
Sure.
He looks at all of you. I can get you a nice price for a group ticket.
Well, would this be a sure thing tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Insight check.
So, you remember buying a ticket to get on the boat, but you also remember tickets not 100% being necessary, as you definitely saw some people slip through like the toll master on the other side, on the Moroth side, to get across. But you also saw some people just kind of like throw coin at the toll master as they walked across.
All right.
But you definitely bought a ticket on the first way around.
What would be your price?
So, for the group rate, for the group ticket, let's see, how many of you? All 5 of you?
Correct.
So, let's see. He starts tapping a pencil against the wooden side of this toll booth. Carry that. Plus a cost of elfin vintage, but subtracting the. He like kind of opens the side door to his toll thing and like leans up and looks at the sky. All right, 3 carved birds. Let's see, in the middle of All right, it's going to be about 70 gold pieces.
How much did I pay per ticket last time?
You paid, honestly, the ticket price was around 50. At least the halfling told you it was around 15 gold for you. However much you ended up paying him is minimum 15, but you were very fond of just throwing money down.
I would pay him 20.
Now, see, that's the premium ticket. That's what you get, like all the fixins on there. You know, you get wine.
Is that all?
No, you get nice seats. You know, if you want to sit at the front of the boat, you can. If you want to be inside, that's also fine.
Was there even seats last time I was on the boat?
Would you have gone inside the boat or not?
Most likely.
There are seats inside, but they're also very crowded. Like if you got up to stretch, your seat was taken.
You drive a hard bargain. How does 50 gold pieces sound?
Make a persuasion check.
Sure. Whoops, I just closed my thing.
He thinks. He looks at you. $55?
I'm gonna have to go with 50, unfortunately. It was around 15 gold pieces per ticket last time when I came through, and since there's 5 of us, that would be 60 gold pieces, but since we're getting a group price, I think 10 gold pieces is all fair.
All right. Fine. Fuck it. 50 gold pieces. I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna pull my gold satchel off my side and I'm gonna pay him 50 gold pieces.
All right. So he takes it and he shuffles it up and puts the gold away. And then he pulls out a ledger book, pops it open, and then it looks like each of the pages are perforated, and he just like skips half the book to go in the middle. All right. Like taps the tip of his pencil against his tongue. What's the name of your group?
Good question. Why don't we just stick with names for now?
All
Since
right.
we aren't exactly.
He writes names, group, tears out the ticket that says names. Oh, there's a $5. There's a 5 credit processing fee to make sure the seats are reserved.
I got you covered. I'll pop down 5 gold.
He takes the 5 gold, slides over the ticket that says names, slams the big thick tome down, drops it onto the wooden floor next to him. Pleasure doing business, and then pulls the shutters down to close the toll booth.
This ticket look legit at all?
Make an investigation.
Sure.
It looks legit.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, we have travel for tomorrow. We can stop off at wherever you'd like.
That was some smooth negotiations.
Comes with the trade.
I'll be honest, I am kind of curious about this human tavern.
Where would I
Names
have
are weird.
stayed? Where would I know of?
That depends. Did you go to the halfling bar or the human bar?
I would probably just go into whichever one they pointed to me first. So
Yeah, they would have
That-
thrown you off towards the human bar.
even
It's
as
the,
a half orc, there's no half orc bars. Darn.
No, they pretty much refer to everyone as either human or halfling.
Gotcha.
And they don't think kindly of non-halflings.
Makes sense.
So you go to the Stuck Pig, which is a human bar, but it's filled with trollkin, half orcs. Now, do you really, honestly, not a human in sight in this bar?
Oh, no. Except for me.
The only human. So you guys walk into the bustling bar, and the people are drinking. Some people are playing card games. Some people are playing with dominoes, others dice. There is a trollkin that looks like they're arguing with the halfling woman behind the bar, and then he stomps off upstairs.
I guess I'll probably walk up to the bar and just be like, howdy. How much for 4 or 5 rooms?
She's gonna lean around you to look up everyone. She's gonna go, 4 or 5 rooms?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna tap her fingers on the bar, lean under her, go.
Why does every city try
And
to
she's gonna
find
turn
us?
and start counting the half full bottles behind her.
I'm just
She's gonna
look
open the
to
window,
bar.
lean out. It's a special day for you humans. We got a discount rate of 20 gold a room. You pay up front, and it's 20 gold a night.
I'll let you handle this one, Zon.
Good idea.
I'm just gonna literally tap him in.
My dear compatriot here is trying to buy us rooms for the night, and I'd be willing to spend my hard-earned money for you. However, I wish that you would give me a reasonable price.
She's gonna look you up and down. These demon dice love these halflings. She's gonna look you up and down and go, I don't think you've ever worked a hard day in your life.
Well,
That's fired.
Oh boy.
So the price is 20 gold a person. Is 20 gold a room. Now, if you want to cram into one room, I don't give a shit. But the rooms, as you can see, are pretty much in high demand right now. And according to the signs, I'm giving you the discount price.
is there a sign around that I haven't seen yet?
Make a perception check.
Sure. I guess they're all halfling size, and I'm just too tall for them.
Yeah, that's it.
So you kind of start looking around, and she goes, "Oh my god, no, not." Look, it's 20 gold a room.
What can I do to get that to 3 rooms for 5 gold a room?
You want 5 gold a room? Tell you what, go kill Gumble, and I'll give you 3 rooms for free.
Who's Gumble?
Is you serious?
Fortunately, he is.
All right, meet me around back in an hour. No, sir, I will not pay. I will not have your shit in this place. This is too refined of an establishment. Get the fuck out.
I just accidentally accept an assassination contract.
Nice
You
going.
got Damocles with you. You're fine.
Never
Oh.
ask who Joe
I'm
is.
not doing
That's all I'm
this.
saying.
You think I'm a bad person?
Real question is there a city block involved?
So wait, so do you say I'm not doing this to her?
Yes, I'm not actually going to kill this man for you. I was
Oh.
just I don't know who this man is.
Well, it doesn't matter. If you're not going to do it, it's 20 gold a room.
How big are these rooms?
Big enough.
Are they big enough for 5 very large halflings?
Oh my god.
5 humans could definitely fit in one of these rooms.
Would they be comfortable?
Well, I mean, that depends. Comfortability is related to one's own preferences. I personally wouldn't be comfortable talking to a half-orc for any longer than 30 minutes. But, you know, you gotta make do.
Well, maybe if you got to know him a little bit better.
Maybe if I got paid 20 gold.
Unfortunate, I don't have the gold to give you for chit-chat.
What I meant was buy a key to a room.
I will buy 1 room, but I do hope that your attitude changes. I'll slide 20 gold across the bar.
She snatches it up, kind of looks at it, gives it a... All right. She pulls out an iron key and tosses it on the bar. Now, do you guys want something to eat or something to drink?
I'm looking at everyone else.
I'm fine.
I'm alright.
Well, all right, thank you.
I would like an elven wine if you have one. I got myself a little bit worked
Boy.
up coming in.
Oh, an elven wine. All right, let me see what I got. She's going to turn around. She's going to go. She's going to pull off a silver bottle. How much?
Is it actually an elven bottle?
You want to make an investigation check?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, it does. It does look like an elven bottle.
All right. Do I recognize this bottle at all?
It looks like the brand on it, like the label has been rubbed off from use.
Would I know any like obscure yet popular halfling alcohols?
They are very secretive about their alcohols.
Oh, I know they would.
They don't.
That's why
share
I was wondering
shit.
if I would know.
I'm gonna say no, but mainly because you're from inland Moroth.
I don't recognize this bottle, unfortunately, but I was also speaking to a compatriot who did send us this way. And I've always been a very light and powerful tongue when it comes to my alcohol. And I've heard very fine things about your halfling mead.
Speak straight.
I was wondering if you had something to offer me of halfling make that you'd be willing to share with an outsider, as I am very, well, interested in different types of alcohol such as yours, especially from
so
different cultures.
So you want the house alcohol?
If it's halfling made, sure.
You said you had a light and sensitive tongue or whatever for alcohol, right?
Yes, well, I'm a connoisseur of alcohols, and halfling is hard to get, as you may know. I know you are very secretive people and don't like to give out your recipes and such.
Whoa!
But-
Secretive.
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
you know what?
When it comes to
I got some
alcohol,
drinks for you. 60 silver, and I'll get you the best fucking halfling mead you ever had.
I will take you up on that offer.
So do you put the silver on the table?
Yeah.
She takes it, disappears out back. After about 2 minutes, she comes back with a wooden cup. You could see chunks of fruit floating in it, and you haven't even, like, as soon as she opened the door, you could smell the alcohol coming from this cup.
Strong. Do you make this yourself? Is this a moonshine of sorts or a
Moonshine,
fermented?
what the fuck are we, hillbillies? No, I buy it from a refinery.
All right. I will inspect and then take a small sip.
Whatever. So you, like, putting it up, the amount of alcohol is honestly making your eyes water a little bit. Beyond the alcohol smell, it does smell good. I mean, it is chock full of fruits. It has a very sweet smell to it that is, if it wasn't for the just pure alcohol inside of it, would honestly be very alluring. You taking a drink?
Yes, I am.
So you raise it, and it's like you take a drink, and it's sangria, but if sangria was made with grain alcohol.
This is interesting on my palate.
Jesus Christ.
What's the make on this? Or the proof? How many times has this been distilled?
I don't fucking know. I just buy barrels of it. What, you want me
Who
to
makes
ask
it?
questions?
No,
You're asking a lot of questions.
I am a very fine connoisseur of alcohol. If it was nothing else that I enjoy more as a hobby.
Tell you what. For you, she pulls out a flask and sets it down. Here's a flask full of it.
Oh no, it's
Sure.
Barrett all over again.
Enjoy. And she walks off to the other edge of the bar.
All right then. I will finish the cup that she gave me, and then.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh
at
yeah.
disadvantage.
At
I was
disadvantage.
having
All right, sure.
flashbacks.
I swear, I thought it was just gonna be a cup filled with like alchemist fire.
Or just
thought she
banging
was
your head
gonna-
on the bar.
Thought she was gonna go to the stables and pick up some shit in it or something.
17. That's
fine. I'm an
that's not
alcohol
bad.
man.
No, you're feeling tipsy. But this is a strong cup of alcohol. This would have fucked up a man of lesser
literally,
tastes.
it's literally fruit moonshine.
No,
But I will take the flask, and then at the end of my drinking, I will head over to the room. If the woman behind the bar is still there, I want to like take a step over and be like, "Who makes this, perchance? Do you have the maker's mark or anything?"
God, it really is Barrett all over again.
Understood. Thank you very much.
She shrugs and goes back to cleaning.
All right. I'll head over to the room then.
Sure. So is there anybody come with him? Jethro's following, but anybody else?
I'll go up too. I want to see what this room is.
Okay.
Me too.
Go up.
All right. So you guys go up and you open the room, and there is one, I guess it would amount to a twin person sized bed. There is a chest. There is a cabinet. And that's it. you can all comfortably fit in this room, but only one of you would be able to use the bed. Everyone else would have to be in there. Matt's on the floor, and even then, it's gonna be a little bit crowded.
Question. In terms of like using a Motel 6 room for scale, is this about
I haven't been to a Motel 6 in years.
It's like just a standard hotel room size, I would assume. Probably even like half of one.
Yeah, it's closer to half the size of a hotel room.
okay?
Not terrible.
No, we could. People can jam into a corner.
Yeah. I mean, you guys could fit. Is it worth 20 gold? That's
probably not. But I was expecting a broom closet.
That's fair.
Well, at least we have bedrolls.
I'm just gonna pick a corner and go sit.
Cool. It is like 5 o'clock in the afternoon right now. After all the haggling
Oh.
and drinking and buying tickets, it's around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Or evening, whatever.
It's been a bit of a day running around.
Yes, it has.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, unless you want to go out and burn a city or get assassinated, it's probably best that we just stay in for the night.
Oh man, Zahn with the soft blows coming over here.
No, I figure you'll let me know if someone irks you hard enough to warrant that.
I don't think anyone
But I'll be
tries to
fine.
be assassinated.
Well, there's a difference between trying and not trying, and making yourself available to it and not making yourself available to it.
Drunk?
Walking around. No, but walking around in the daylight or evening light right after we've walked away from burning a city to the ground is probably a bad idea, is what I'm saying. Which is why I wish to get on the boat today, but I guess we'll sustain for tomorrow.
Well, he's been talking. I've just been like taking off my weapons and stuff, like going through the process of getting out of the scale mail and putting it in the closet.
Sure, you hang it up in the closet.
Yeah. Personally, I think I'm a little excited getting to see a new country, I guess, wherever all y'all are from.
Yes, we need to get him ready. We need to get you ready for what
Ooh.
Moroth is going to bring.
We gotta get you a mask.
I'm sorry, a what?
We gotta get you a mask.
Why?
You're gonna have to get one for Jethro too, right, Zahn?
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. You don't need one, but you
It
look like
helps.
an outsider without one.
Well, why do I? Is it because I'm all like, I just get like,
No, it's
No.
a long-standing tradition, which, in my opinion, shouldn't be one anymore. And it just adds to the ridiculousness that is our political system currently. But
Well, maybe it would be better to buy a mask once we get there, since there would be masks in this style.
once we're near town, we should be able to quickly make it to my manor and then You won't have to walk among the streets very often anyways, and we can have my servants find us masks.
We live in the capital. The capital is so far away from the border.
I have reason to believe that it won't be long once we're beyond the border that someone will find me.
You're pretty confident about that.
I'm
That's
not exactly
ominous.
confident, but I have my reasons.
All powerful families in Moroth have ways of finding out where people are within Moroth.
And I have a lot of very cautious people surrounding me.
Well, I guess it must feel like a nice weight about to be come off your shoulders, huh, Kara?
We still have to get across the river first. Once we hit solid ground on the other side, I can take a breath. But until then, I'm this is probably more nervous than I've ever been. Anything can happen.
Well, I'll work to make sure you make it there safe. I'll do my best, at least.
Yelvin, I'm going to give you a piece of advice.
Yeah?
Don't make that promise. The last few people that have ended up dead.
You aren't kidding, are you?
I am not kidding. No.
Oh. Huh. I figured from the way y'all act and stuff. Been through a rough time. Sounds like it was a.
Why are you rolling? What are you doing?
Sounds like we've been through the ringer quite a bit. Yovas just takes off one glove, sets it aside. But I think it's from now on things will probably be looking up, hopefully. At least without all the assassins and stuff after everyone.
Moroth is its own animal.
God damn it, Morgan. Yeah, it's not nearly as bright as Kel, to say the least.
I mean, it's not like Kill's is short on supplies when it comes to some of the shadier, scummier folks. I mean, they aren't as ostentatious as Moroth's crowd, but they're still there.
So in that pause of conversation, Joven, you hear at the very edge of your hearing a high-pitched whistle that quickly shifts into a low-pitched one.
Oh
And then, would you want to make a perception check?
Yes. You'd probably get up a bit, shoulders tensing a little.
Because as a person who's been out in the woods, you recognize that as a hunter's call to their pet.
Somebody's
No.
whistling. All.
And then you look around and you don't see anything.
Yeah.
shit.
I swear I heard something. I heard her whistling like a dog called.
Okay, we are definitely not going outside tonight.
Oh, you're willing to listen to me this time. All right.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna go over to the closet and get my armor.
Sure.
Do dinosaurs fit in houses? Housings.
I can stay near the door if need be. That to get through me. Get in.
Is there a window in this place?
There
This
is.
Great.
It's one of those shitty motel ones that you have to fight forever to get it open, and even then it opens like a crack.
Oh, good. That'll work to our advantage. Probably.
So I know that guy in blue armor ain't a overt enemy. Are there any of them that are like that are and use animals and stuff?
Yep.
Yep, there was one that we met.
Well, how bad can it be? It's not like you got some chainsawses.
Oh. Oh, honey. Bless your heart. Yes, he does. He had a T-Rex at one point.
How are y'all even alive?
Sheer dumb luck, I'm pretty sure, and also Zahn can hit things pretty hard. Okay.
All right. Well, I don't think you can get a dinosaur through this place without causing a racket.
Can I
Definitely
go look out the window?
goddamn T-Rex.
Yeah, sure. Make a perception check.
I don't think they care about making a racket.
Okay, never mind.
Did you give yourself disadvantage
I
on it?
didn't try to, but the first roll is going to be the first one anyway, so still
Gotcha.
a natural one.
Yeah, so you look out and you're seeing like a few halflings kind of shouting at you. You can see and hear them shouting at each other in the street. It's kind of muffled through the glass pane of the window. And like there's some birds that are flying nearby. There's a cat that's stalking a bird across the rooftop, and just as it's about to pounce, the bird like flies away. There is a seagull squawking at the two halflings, and not much other than that.
All right.
What do you mean about them not wanting to be sneaking and everything? You can't just. It's not like you could just kill off an entire tavern of people.
Doesn't matter who gets in the way as long as they get their prize. They get paid either way.
What kind of psychopathic shit heels y'all got tangled with?
The majority of the assassins of Moroth, you know.
What the
And
hell's
some
wrong with you?
Kel.
I mean, it's like this is a tavern that's packed with people. Ain't no way they can just bust in and just start murdering people left and right.
Some of them don't care about the collateral damage, Joven.
Like I said, it doesn't matter what's in the way. As long as they get their prize, they still get paid.
Well, how's about this? Seems like you magic types need to like rest and stuff in order to recoup your energies. How about I stay up and make sure nothing happens?
one that's used magic recently, aren't I?
Yeah, but we've also had like
yes.
5 days in between.
I know, but like today, I'm the only one
Today.
that's used magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I
Mm.
mean, I also have mage armor, so you're not the only one. Which I will be casting soon. Now.
Right. Immediately.
As the memories of the laugh fills both Kara and Damakos' head at the mention of an entire tavern being slaughtered. Damakos finds himself almost unconsciously casting mage armor on himself.
Better than another spell I could have done.
Fireball.
Centered on myself like a wild mage.
Oh no.
And that was the end of the campaign.
I would have survived that. Everybody else might not have.
Brag.
Next campaign is
No,
just
we
all of
survived.
us Zon's angels.
Oh no.
All right. So, what are you guys doing?
Probably shouldn't just leave one person to take watch at a time.
So leave no one to take watch. Excellent idea.
No. I'll stay up with Joven for first watch.
Great.
If everyone's going to sleep.
Sure.
Put
Sure.
Jover on the
We
So,
traveled for like 5 days, right?
yes. Well, you guys traveled for a total of 7 days.
7 days, okay. I've been keeping track of rations that I have in my pack.
Oh, dude, don't worry about rations.
Okay.
Don't worry about rations.
Well, because everything's god awful expensive, I'll probably be handing out the rations I have to the
What are you
folks.
talking about? You didn't go over food prices.
I did not go over food prices. But, call it a hunch.
It's just 50 gold. That's it.
just
Number one rule of going in a hotel is never open the mini fridge. Don't order food.
And there is so I assume you guys opened the chest at one point. It is essentially a mini fridge.
Oh my god.
God.
That's where they
Okay.
get you.
Yep, that is where they get us. But yeah, I basically hand out food for people. Not the best, but some nuts and dried meats better than nothing.
All right. So everyone goes to sleep. And Joven and Kara, you are sitting up on watch. Both of you guys make a perception check for me, please. I mean, it looks as clear as possible to you guys. You guys do have the room lamp burning on low, at least for a Kara to be able to see. And yeah, you don't see any creepy crawlies sliding in through the window, Star Wars Episode 2 style. You don't you don't see any assassins like sneaking up. Or at least you don't see them. So no guarantee.
Yep.
But yeah, so you guys are just sitting in the soft glow of the lamplight.
While we're here, can I take a look out at the moon real quick?
Are you gonna open the window?
No.
Then you wouldn't be able to take a look at the moon.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna lean up my back against the door. And it's just gonna be like, ever since I started traveling with you guys, I've been seeing some weird stuff up with the moon.
What do you mean with the moon? What's wrong with the moon?
Well, like, It's hard to explain, but it looks like it's cracked.
Oh,
It's this
okay.
weird, like there's a big old black like chip fracture. I don't know what you want to call it, but like that the moon itself's been cracked. Every time I've been on watch, I looked up and it seems to be that way. I'm kind of glad we're indoors so I don't have to go and check.
That Does that ever happen before, Market?
No, the moon has always been whole. I mean, besides the waning and waxing, give us all the shitty like things of the moon, but yeah, it's always been whole. No cracks. Craters, yes, but no cracks.
Huh. I don't think it's ever done that before.
I know. I haven't ever seen it like that until we left town, really.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, you can't exactly go up and fix the moon.
No. No, I can't.
I don't think anyone can.
It's one of those things that I hope it's not like some kind of creepy madness. Just
Uh,
between the firebug over there and, well, no offense, but your buddy. I'm pointing over to the hand that is Alexander. Things that-
Alexander flips you off.
yeah, I
thank you.
figured. Things ain't exactly been the most normal.
What is your normal? Like, what are your parents like?
My parents were, well, they were pretty great. Hardworking people with good business sense. Used to have a whole bunch of people giving timber to Kel, even some to Moroth. I'm sure some to this town too. Like I said, my normal was usually just drowning my sorrows out at a bar.
But your
for all
parents
this-
aren't like you.
No, no, they're human. Truth be told, this is all I got of my whoever it was who gave birth to me. I say, motioning to the axe. That creepy axe that won't stop being rusted.
You
But my
mean like
parents,
you can't clean it?
yeah,
Oh,
no matter how much I try, even had some magic guy try it once and didn't work. My pa says that axe showed up one day after they had been raising me for a while. They found me kind of just left out in the woods, you see. They took me in, raised me as one of their own. That axe had a creepy old cryptic warning attached to it, but I don't really care.
you got an axe with a warning on it as a baby and you just kept it this whole time.
It's the only thing I got, both of my parents and of whoever it is who gave birth to me.
What did the warning say?
It said that one day this thing would be mine. So to take good care of it and to take good care of me. And that whoever did it would be watching.
Okay, up to that last part, that didn't sound like a warning.
I
That just
know.
sounded like a regular old inheritance.
I
But-
know.
Watch? That is a little creepy. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Ever since my folks disappeared, things ain't exactly been easy. Couldn't pay our employees, and since we can't pay our employees, debts racked up. Whole business ended up getting sold off. And I ain't got much to show for it. I went out trying to find them best as I could, but like I said, I ain't got business sense. I'm good at hidden things and carrying stuff, all that kind of work. Went long before I came up with no leads and no money.
Well, I hope we can find them.
I hope so. Truth be told, my folks aren't the only ones I'm looking for.
Well, see, how many people in your family are going missing?
Well, besides my parents, I've been looking for whoever it is who says they've been watching me or would be watching.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whether they meant it as a good intention or as some sort of intimidation thing. I want to know if they've had anything to do with my folks going missing. And if they did, well, I got an axe.
Yeah, you've got an axe.
All right. And so, Zon, you dream that you are sitting at your estate and you are having tea with your parents in your sitting room.
I thought there was more of that. Anything happening?
You're
Notable.
drinking tea. You can have any conversation you'd like with them. You're sitting in your sitting room. There's a fire in the fireplace.
Okay, I'm just enjoying the moment for the most part.
Sure. Your father looks up, smiles at you, and then his face starts to turn a little white. The teacup drops out of his hand as his throat starts to turn gray. Your mother starts coughing as her throat also starts to turn gray. They're both looking at you, pleading with their eyes. Your father managed to get up. So. When you rush over to help them, you realize that your hands are wrapped around their throats, that they're trying to pry your fingers loose. And then you wake up. And Domikos. So you dream of Garen.
Oh,
Garen is floating in a golden light. And then he starts to crumble away. Bits and pieces of him turn to dust until he is completely gone. And in your dream, you begin to look around and you can see Bareth crumbles away. And for a moment, you think you see Kara and then Zahn in the light. And then you wake up as well. And it's time for a shift change. So Kara and Yovin get to go to sleep. And Damikos and Zahn get to stay watch. So both of
Morgan,
you
do
guys make a
familiars need to sleep? Sorry.
It depends on the familiar. So, like, a dog would need to sleep.
About a hand.
The hand does seem to sleep, as far as you can tell, by curling up in like a C hand shape near you.
Okay.
But it whether or not it needs to sleep, it hasn't felt it necessary to share that information with you.
That's fair. They don't need an extra hand. I'm just going to set aside a piece of the bedroll for him and go to sleep.
All right. So, did you guys already throw? Yep, you did.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, yeah, it's a nice night. The soft glow of the lamp. Not much is going on.
What happened when you were frozen? Never quite did explain it.
That's right, I didn't. Well, I was in a different place. There's just a little bit of, I would guess, would be water on the ground with what seemed like an infinite expanse of starry night sky.
That's it? Just a
Yeah.
empty space?
Well, from what I could tell, an empty space. Something else was there. I heard it, heard something.
And then what? You just woke up? Nothing happened?
Not exactly.
Well, do tell, please.
Right, well. Well, I waited to see if anything, was going to make itself known in some way, but it didn't. Until I shouted out for it to show itself. At which points, all that met me was vision or an imagery that was troubling. And so I asked it how I could get out of this place. And it showed me an answer.
What was this troubling imagery? What was this thing? Why did it just let you go? Did
I
it
have
really
a-
let you go?
That's something I'm still trying to figure out.
Do you realize that your veins are starting to run black? I noticed it in the cave. I haven't said
Sidebar.
anything.
DM. Did I notice that back like with my mark? Trying to remember.
I don't believe you did. You definitely noticed something moving underneath your skin, but I don't
Right.
think you noticed your veins turning black.
Okay. I just couldn't remember exactly if I saw that too.
I just noticed it when we were in the cave. And then you, seemingly out of nowhere, decided that blowing up a city block was a good idea.
I don't believe the two are connected. That was
Well,
to
I would
apologize about
hope
that
not,
impulsiveness.
but if it isn't connected, then it just worries me greater that there isn't something more deeply wrong with you.
I panicked in that moment back there.
When people panic, they freeze up. They don't lob large-scale artillery into buildings. My whole life has centered around protecting people. When I was 10, my father was in his study, and we were discussing, or he was teaching me, things about Arcana and just sort of going through books, things he liked to read at the time. I don't remember much of the details, but I remember that day specifically because it was the first time that I had a knife held to my throat. An assassin decided to sneak in, hid among shift robes and cupboards within his study for days, weeks, who knows, and jumped out, attempting to attack my father, only to quickly realize that he was no match for him. Much more skilled and artisan-like fighter that he was, but he never struck trying to kill anyone. And in his panic, he reached for me. And instead of just killing the man, he gave him a second chance. Gave him a life worth living. Told him what would be the point of killing our family just to take our power, when someone would most likely kill him within a week. So he gave him a life worth living. Paid him a salary. Most likely won't be royalty or nobility, but he'll live a comfortable life. Working a life within our shops down below. I never saw that man again. My point being, I don't wish to harm those in my way, whether they strike me down or attempt even assassination on my loved ones. But I won't stand by and let those things happen in front of me. So I tell you this once. What you did last week was atrocious. And if anything ever comes from you again like that, I won't stand by and let that happen again.
I understand.
Good. I hope that this is a one-time thing and possibly a result of whatever caused you to freeze. And I hope that you figure whatever it is out and it doesn't become an issue, because at the moment I'm worried for your health. I don't typically see those running veins of black in those that are still of the living.
You do know that a few of us have certain tattoos. I believe I remember
Yes.
correctly. I think you have one as well.
Yes.
Yep.
It sort of happened out of nowhere once I started traveling with you folk. Which is much more reason why I haven't struck you down after the other day, because it seems like we have a much bigger end goal than I was hoping for.
Well, I don't know why exactly. But when I was in that space, for lack of a better term at the moment, I wasn't sure what was going on back wherever all of you were. I wasn't sure if the battle was over. I wasn't sure if it was still waging. If you were all almost dead. I was just trying to get back there to be able to assist. Suffice to say, the way that it showed me to get out of that space means I don't have that mark anymore.
And this is the unchaining, I assume, that our S friend talked about?
I believe so.
Well, I don't think you need to be chained to be able to find your own decision in such matters. Just like us being chained, we aren't drawn to any such conclusion other than the one that we decide for ourselves. Just like my father, giving that man another chance at life, he chose to do that for him. Didn't have to do that. He could have killed that man and left him in the street. Same thing about how that man could come back and try to assassinate us again. We all get to choose whether we like it or not.
Not all of us have that choice, unfortunately. You do know how Moroth handles those who wield magic, yes?
Yes and no. Nobility seems to have a, well, hands-off approach when it comes to it. Kara being one, her sister being another. Magic abilities seem to be okay among the nobility, those with power. You're noble yourself, as far as you've said.
I am.
Well, then you should have no problem.
Not quite with the way that magic seems to just occur around myself.
Well, then you can always make the choice to figure out how to control it. Or the way to squelch it, whatever you wish. You still have the choice in doing whatever you feel necessary once a thing comes up. Just like you made the choice to explode a building full of people.
Yes. That is.
And I know you can make a choice to do better next time. Either way, we just need to get back to Moroth. Or, I could always take Kara's head if she decides to continue lying to me about things, but, You're a man of magic yourself. Have you ever met a wizard who doesn't use a spellbook?
Wizard without a spellbook, no, but I don't use a spellbook.
Well, you're not a wizard. You have innate abilities. I may not be a peruser of magic myself, but I know the different classifications of those who use it. Those who learn it from birth, giving them own study to different manipulations of the magic that surrounds us, and then there's those who have an innate ability to be able to draw from the natural occurring magic around us, and then there's others that make pacts with demons and devils and godly beings, and there's those like myself who have somewhat of a faith-drawn relationship, who have been given a slight ability, but don't really get much. And then there's Kara, who says she's a wizard, and talks very many wizardly things, but has abilities such as your own, but less there in fact. And I notice these things, as I'm sure you probably have.
I've noticed them, but haven't really given them any mind, as I just wish to help Kara find out why the hell she has a bounty on her head.
I would like to know that reason myself, but much reason why I came out here in the first place. Her both not and being my mark at the same time. If she's not honest with me, I don't know what to do about that, because I don't know the full situation of why she's being targeted in the first place.
Well,
I only wish for her not to be a bad person. Someone who doesn't need to be killed. Just like I wish that you won't be a bad person in the future.
yes.
Would not be surprised if you end up coming back to Kel and you hear about another bounty on your own head after what happened. But I understand your situation, and I understand you're willing to work past your mistakes. So I won't strike you down. But in Kara's situation, I don't know the full story, and that's all I wish to know.
Well, then it sounds like you have a decision to make, because if I remember correctly, the bounty said she makes it
Oh, I
back
know
to
what it
Florida.
said. I know what it said. I do have a decision to make, but I just wish to let you know of my possibilities at the moment, and my reasoning, so that if it so happens to go that way, we don't have a disagreement between us.
Very well. And do know that I will do better.
Good.
And with that, sun slowly starts to rise for you guys. But Kara and Joven, you both have very interesting dreams that night.
Dream time.
Joven, you dream of running through a forest. And I'll take it. So you dream of running through a forest, and you are, as you run through the forest, the bushes slowly start to turn into grasping hands that seem to claw at your legs. The trees their branches turn into blades, and you're just running through, and you can hear your parents calling out your name. Just running through, eviscerating yourselves on the trees and bushes as they reach out and claw you down to the ground and slowly start to pull you under the earth. Next up, Kara. Kara, you remember. You remember opening the inn door and seeing your last name painted everywhere. You remember the endless streams of confetti. You remember the laugh. You remember Ralph seemingly betraying you and being a jester. You remember the soldier growing wings and flying away when it quickly became outnumbered. You remember every assassin and every potential assassin that has come after you so far on your journey. And right before you wake up, you hear that bone-chilling laugh and see a blade flying out of the darkness towards you. And you wake up.
I whip out a knife. One of my infinite daggers.
And everyone is awake. And it is early morning.
Put the knife away.
Okay there, Carl.
Just a bad dream. We seem to get those a lot.
I'm going to go over to the... Actually, you know what? First off, is Jester still here?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Everyone's here. Kara's also here. Damiko's on. Everyone's accounted for.
You have an itching feeling like someone is missing, but you go over the numbers again, and yeah, everyone's there.
Is Alexander here?
Yeah, Alexander's here. He's on your shoulder.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go over to the window and look out, see what time it is. Vaguely from whether the sun's up or not.
Sun is slowly beginning its ascent. You can assume it's 7 o'clock in the morning.
All right. You guys wanna try and head over to those boats, see if they might be ready to take on people?
Sure. Quickly, though, while we're in the company of allies, Kara,
Hmm.
would you like to explain to the group how you cast your spells?
No.
Why not? I'm curious.
Why?
Well, mostly that you've been lying to me for the last couple times I've asked you about them and changed the story a few times now.
I have not changed the story.
Well, the first time we met, you said you were studying and just sort of traveling around. And the second time, you told me about your sister and how she actually studies magic, but she didn't have to travel around, and how she studied from books and was a wizard proper, just like yourself. However, you don't use books.
My eldest siblings take care of the family business. Florin doesn't have the luxury to travel around.
Okay, that's plenty fine. But what I'm really wondering is how you cast your spells.
How the fuck do you cast your spells?
I have faith in my own validity to hold to my oath, one that I was given very young and have trained very hard for. And a deity above has decided to bless me with small blessings to hold that oath.
So when he mentions that he's trained very hard for his magic, Kara, you hear he's jealous.
Okay.
Something wrong?
Let's just go.
I'd really rather have this talk before we go.
Why?
Because it shouldn't be that hard to explain.
And this factors into your decision, is that it?
Yes.
Whether or not
I would
also
like to
serve
know the
this
full
deity?
story. That's all I wish to know is the full story here. I have no problems with your personality or how you handle your things currently, albeit a little bit drastic in your decision makings and a lot less cautious than I expected. But you've lied to me, and I wish to know why.
I don't serve gods. Okay? I don't have this tattoo willingly. I find them to be a bunch of bullshit, quite frankly.
All
I
right.
just cast magic.
So you're a sorcerer. you're like Damocles, and you've just been saying you're a wizard for no reason in particular?
Some of us want to get a handle on our magic, okay? And walk out the door.
I'm following.
And so you all leave the room, and you leave the inn. As you're walking through the streets, you're starting to notice the guard. You didn't really notice them yesterday because they weren't really out, but they are wearing the typical Kel army guard. They look bigger than normal. They look like they're ready to fight, but they also seem more like each of them kind of glances out to the Morathian boats in the harbor. They ignore the halflings essentially fist fighting below them. They ignore the just crime that's running through the city. They seem way more focused on the opposing army that's just across the river from them. And as you get to the tollmaster, you see that there is a different halfling, one that's far older. He has tiny spectacles over his nose. Yes?
Well, hello, sir. I have been given this pass so that we could ride the boat on over. I will show him the group pass.
Users called names?
Yes, through some unfortunate circumstances, that was what we chose for ourselves.
He's going to look up at each of you. All right. Well, users in luck. The ship will be docking in about 30 minutes. You can go wait at the edge of the pier.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
He hands back the ticket to use on.
All right. I'll take the tickets and start walking to the edge of the dock, I guess.
So, cool. So you guys walk to the edge of the dock, and you're noticing that the dock guard is a very, very large man in Kel armor. He has a travel cloak slung over him. He's carrying a large pike. He's just fucking massive. He stands at around 7.5, 8 feet tall. Definitely got some giant blood running through him. Not uncommon in Kel, but he's decked out in the full armor with the plate helm over his head. And after about 30 minutes, the boat does dock. He reaches over, opens up the door, and walks onto the boat.
Guess we're following him.
So you guys all get on the boat, and the boat is quickly filled with people trying to get over to Moroth. They scurry inside. Just fuck ton of halflings, humans, elves, half-orcs. The trollkin opens the door to go inside, looks around, slams the door shut. No room. And slumps against the bench in the back part of the boat. And slowly, the boat starts to move back towards Moroth. Anything you guys want to do?
So, if we get there in one piece, would you be willing to explain to me then?
I'm staying as far away from him as possible.
I'm excited. I've never been out on the river itself. Just some of the smaller streams. This is awesome. Yova's gonna put his hands on the railing and he's just gonna look down.
I need you to make a perception check for me.
Oh no.
Cool. Yeah, you're looking down at all the fish swimming below you.
Yeah.
And that's when you guys, right before you're about to cross the border where the Kel ships are here, that stretch of non-allied water, and then the Moroth ships are, you hear, Karina! And the flapping of wings. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Should have just told me.
Oh,
Now, if he
boy.
kills you, I'm gonna have to stab you first.
Wow!
Before.
And thank you guys for joining us again on this wonderful journey of nothing but peace and love and nothing scary or foreboding at all. Go ahead, follow us on Twitch, like, subscribe our YouTube videos, follow us on Twitter. Anything else anybody wants to add?
No, you got it all, I think. I just gotta actually type it in here.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys again for joining us. We'll see you next week when Kara may or may not die. And it is the end of the Kellen chapter.
Great. I am going to be dressed up for this then. Not on purpose, on accident.
Fun.
Okay.
Cool.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.